So hello everyone. So in this video we are going to discuss Euler's diagram, which is also called Venn diagram. So before we study that, it is important for us to know something about what is set. So basically sets are well-defined collections. Sets are well-defined collections that are characterized by their elements. So they are collection of what? Elements. Thus two sets are equal if and only if they have exactly same elements. So here this same is important. Same does not mean similar. Suppose in this particular set you have two triangles. One is green one and one is red one. They might look similar but they are not the same. So suppose if there another set is there and exactly one-to-one mapping can be done, then only we can say the two sets are equal. Then a set cannot have the same member more than once. This is also very important. We are going to see how it is important and what role it will play later. Only membership matters. So for example, there is no order or other differences among the members. Now there are two sets. Set A contains 4, 7, 8, 11, 17 and set B contains 11, 8, 4, 17, 7. So we can see all the members of A are present as members of B, although the order is not the same. Here you have ascending order and here you have haphazard order. So as I discussed that the order of set is immaterial. If exactly the same element are present in two sets, they are equal, and that is why set A will be equal to set B. This is quite important. Now imagine the set is a bag. So set is the collection or like a bag. Various things can be put into a bag. For example, set A can contain a number, then alphabets, then symbols, then digits, etc. Okay. Later a good question can be, is a particular element present in that bag? So mathematicians call this element of. Something is an element of a set if that thing can be found in respective bag, and this is denoted by a set epsilon or E, and it is written as a small a is element of set A. As we can see, set A contains an element a small a, which means A is in the bag capital A. Now B is not element of capital A, which means B is not in the bag capital A. Here we can see there is no B. So similarly we will say it is not an element of B. Now and dash A. You have to fill in the blanks whether it is the element of A or not an element of A. So what will fill? And is not an element of A. Now come to this particular question. This particular question came this year only, and it was just based upon notation. If you are clear with notation, you could have easily solved this particular question. It says say two sets, set A and set B are defined as follows. So set A is equal to x. X is element of n. So x is element of natural number where x is less than 5. When you have x is element of natural number and x is less than 5, x will have value of 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now suppose you had this one, this sign was there, then equal to is also included. Either x is less than 5 or equal to 5. Since equal to 5 is included here, we will include 5. But here equal to 5 is not there. So we will have to write all the natural numbers smaller than 5. That will come out to be 1, 2 and 3, 4. So set A is nothing but a collection of 4 natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Now set B is collection of natural number only where x square is less than 25. So that will write, it will have 1, 4, 9, 16 as x square. And if they are square, then x will become 1, 2, 3 and 4 is equal to set B. So here we can see same elements are present in both the sets, so they are equal. So A will be the answer. Now come to this particular concept. It is quite important. Like a bag, a set can be empty. It can have no elements. The empty set is like an empty bag. It has nothing in it. The empty set is also called a null. and is represented by the symbol. So here you can see you have two parentheses, two brackets are there, nothing is there in between. So this is the representation of empty set or null set. So here we can't say that a null set contains 0 as element. It has no element, but we can't say it has 0 as element. What is the difference? Here is the difference. Suppose the bag contains an element 0 or a digit 0, then we will write A contains 0. Suppose it contains nothing, then we will write A contains nothing, like this. This is example of null set, and it is an example of a set containing one element and that element is 0. And then we have universal set, like a set of all animal, a set of all natural numbers, a set of all whole number. Now come to this. What is subset? This particular concept is quite important. So if you look at set, so if you look at a particular set A which contains element A and B, and another set B which contains all the element of A apart from other elements like C and D, in that case you can see that all elements in the first set are also in the second set. We say AB is a subset of element A, B, C, D. Okay, that is A is the subset of B, and here pictorially you can see what is subset basically. So this is a set of polygons. Among that there will be a set of regular polygons. The set which will be totally contained or will be a part of this polygon set will be called the subset of polygon. Okay. Now we are going to see Euler's diagram, which is our main topic. Euler's diagram or Venn diagram. So the first example is union of two sets. Suppose we have two sets 1 3 5 7 9 and 1 5 6 13 15. So whenever we will take union, what we will do? We will not do like this, that is 1 3 5 7 9 and 1 5 6 13 15. No, this is incorrect. Above expression is incorrect. What we will have to do? We will have to exclude those elements which are repeated, because I said earlier that union of set will contain only one element. So this U sign stands for union and it will contain only one element, and that is why we will write the A set first, and among B we will only write those elements, or from B we will write only those elements which are not repeated. Now what is intersection of set? Intersection of set is, you can say, all those which are repeated. So here 1 5 are repeated in both, so intersection will be 1 and 5. So basically these two are complementary, you can say, or totally different. Here because we have to find the total area of these two circles. While finding that area, we are finding that this particular middle part is getting counted twice. That is why we will have to remove it once, and here we will have to find just the area which is common to both. Now consider this particular problem. There is a class of 100 students. Okay, 100 are there. They either play cricket or football. 60 of them play cricket, 60 of them play football. So how can this happen? There are 100 students only. So if 60 of them play football, let us give football to them. So we have given up 60 footballs. Now we also know that 60 of them play cricket. So first of all we will give the remaining 40. Now 40 are left, so we will give remaining 40 a bat, and when we will give, then 100 students will be completed. That is 60 will play football and 40 will play cricket. And then what we will do? We will do cricket bat to 20 of the students who play football, so that 60 will play cricket and 60 will play football. And among those who are playing football, 20 will be such a student who will play both cricket and football. So here we can say, if this represent football, this represent cricket, so the middle path, which is twice, is 20, and that can be got by adding upon 60 plus 60, that is cricket plus football, that will come out to be 120, and minus 100. 120 minus 100 is 20. Now it says how many of them play just one game. So as we already know that 20 of them play 2 games out of 100 students. So automatically 80 of them will play one game, just one game. Okay, this was also easy. Now how many of them do not play cricket? We are given 60 of them play cricket. So this particular circle, white circle, is 60. So if it is 60, the remaining do not play cricket. That is 100 minus 60 is 40. Now come to this particular question. This is quite important. If you will understand this, you can solve many questions. In a school, 200 students are randomly selected. 140 like tea. Okay, 140 of them like tea. So the area of this yellow circle is 140. And 120 of them like coffee. The area of this transparent circle is how much? 120. 80 of them like both. So this common area is 80. 80 of them like both tea and coffee. So let us do something. How many of the students only like tea? So this is the number of students who like tea, and this is the student who like both. So if we will subtract 140 minus 80, then we will get with only this area, and only this area will be what? Will be those students who consume only tea and not coffee. So that will come out to be 140 minus 80 is equal to 60. So 60 students consume just tea. This is very important. Similarly, we have to find how many of students consume only coffee. So we will subtract 80 from 120. That will come out to be 40. So 40 of the students consume just coffee. That is the area of this blue part you will see. How many students like neither tea nor coffee? So if these many students like tea and these many coffee and these many both of them, then we can add up on this to get the whole area of people or student liking both tea and coffee. So it will come out to be 180. We will subtract 180 from 200 because the total number of students is 200. So when we will do, we will get 20. So 20 of the students neither like tea nor coffee. That is here. Outside the figure we have written 20. That is they neither like tea nor coffee. Then how many of the students like only one of tea or coffee? They either like tea or either like coffee. They don't like both. So we have to subtract 80 from the total. That is, so here 60 plus 40 will come out to be 100. So this will be the answer for this. Now it says how many of the students like at least one beverage. At least means you have the minimum limit is this one. You can have maximum limit anything, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So they like at least one beverage, one or more than one. So we already know one is 60 plus 40, that is 100, and more than one is 80. So that will come out to be 180. We don't have more than 2. Okay, so that will come out to be 180. And then last one says how many of students like at most one beverage. At most part will have 60, 40 and 20 as well. Okay, at most is the maximum limit. So 20 will also be counted there, and that will become what? 120. So this is the thing for your at most beverages. Okay, as you can see here all the answers are written beside the question. If you want to understand it properly, just pause for a minute and see for yourself how 60, 40, 20, 100, 180 and 120 are the answers. You have been given this figure. Try to relate this particular figure to this particular question, all the 6 questions, and try to see how we got the answers. 140 were tea consumers, 120 were coffee consumers, and 80 were consumers of both. So we got all these answers. Try to understand that. Now we will solve questions on Venn diagram. So this is one of the question which came in test. So we are So we will see at this, whenever a question will come, it will be of two Venn diagram in general, because most of the students who apply for this are from humanities background. This is known by them also. So they try to provide a level playing field. So it says Riaz distribute 20 copies of the Hindu and 20 copies of Deccan Chronicle in an apartment that has 40 apartments. If he distribute at least one newspaper to each apartment, that is to all those apartment, one newspaper is at least given. The number of apartment that buy only the Hindu is, that you have to find out. So we know there are 40 apartments. So let us first give one newspaper, the Hindu, to 20 of them. So the leftover apartment will be 20. Now we have to distribute Deccan Chronicle. So first let us distribute 20 Deccan Chronicle to that particular apartment. Okay, so we will be left by 5. Now all the 40 apartments have newspapers. So we will be now giving Deccan Chronicle to those apartments which has the Hindu. So how many of them are remaining? 5 Deccan Chronicles are remaining. So 5 of them will have both Deccan Chronicle as well as the Hindu. Okay, so if that is true, then what will be the number of this particular thing? 20 minus 5, that will come out to be 15. As you can see, 5 will be this, so this will become 15, and that will be the answer. Now come to this. Among a group of children, 6 like chocolate ice cream, 5 children like only butterscotch ice cream, and 5 like both of these. So the question says, if each child gets an ice cream, how many ice creams should be ordered? So we know that only chocolate is 6, only butterscotch is 5, and the middle part is 5 again. So 5 plus 5 plus 6 will come out to be 16. And suppose it was given that more than one ice cream can be consumed by those people who like both of them, then we will have to multiply this by 2. Okay, and when we will do that, then the answer will come out to be 21. Okay, so now we are focusing upon this particular question. It says, of the 850 students who wrote an entrance examination at the center, 550 did very well in mathematics, 600 did very well in English, and 350 did very well in both. How many students did not do very well in mathematics? Okay, so the first thing we will do is, we already know the total number of students is 850, and 550 of them did very well in mathematics. So this circle is 550 and this circle is 600. Okay, so when we will add 550 plus 600, and we are given the common part is 350, that is they did better in both of them. So this is the common part. So the union of these two sets will be 550 plus 600 minus 350, that will come out to be 800, but the total number of students is 850. Okay, so 50 of them have neither done good in mathematics nor in English. Now we have to find how many of them did not do well in mathematics. So we already know that 550 students did well in mathematics. So how many did not do well in mathematics? The first way can be, we can subtract 550 from 800. The second approach can be, we will have to take the area of this, that is those students who did well in English but did not do well in mathematics. And similarly we will add this also, because they also did not do well in mathematics, that will come out to be 300. So 50 plus 250 is equal to 300. That is another approach, but the best method will be, you will have to take the complement of mathematics. That is, if 550 students are doing well in mathematics, rest of them are not doing well in mathematics, and that will come out to be 850 minus 550, that is 300 again. Now come to this particular thing and try to see for yourself. There are 100 students in a graduating class. 80 students have passed the examination. Okay, 80 have passed. So I have written like this. There is a disjoint set, that is 20 have failed and 80 have passed. 90 students from this class got a job. So when 90 students are getting a job and it is saying that 80 have passed, then there must be some student who have not passed or failed the examination and got the job. So given this information, which of the following statement is true? So here we can see this is a subset of what? Union of these two sets. So here there is an option B. Set C is a subset of union of set A and set B. This was also a question which was quite easy. Okay, so next question will be based upon 3 Venn diagrams. Can you identify the meaning or the information by all colors? Yes, it is quite easy, but it is not that easy. See, the pink is all those people who are experienced. The orange one or yellow one is all those people who are flexible, and the blue shows all the people who have a good personality. But what is green? Green represent only those people. Now green represent those people who have a good personality and are flexible but are not experienced, because we will have to exclude this white part. So green does not contains those people who are experienced. Similarly this orange or red, you can say, they are those people who are experienced and flexible, but they do not have good personality. If we will include that also, good personality also, then it will become white. And this is people those who are experienced and have a good personality but are not flexible. So this is the meaning of it. So try to get the meaning of it, all of it, then you can attempt or understand the concepts better. When we see just the pink part, that contains people who are just experienced. They don't have good personality, they don't have flexibility. It contains, the yellow part contains those people who are flexible, just flexible. They are not good at personality or experience. Similarly, this particular part contains only those people who are good at only personality. If we will include all of it, they might be good at personality, they might be flexible also, they might be experienced also. Okay, so this is the basic meaning. Try to get the meaning of this and then we will proceed further. So this very slide is very important, and if you will understand this particular slide, you will understand the whole of Venn diagram. So let us first focus upon this. So we are taking union of set A and set B. So what is union? The complete area of this 8 figure or horizontal 8 figure is called union of these two sets here. Okay, so we are seeing that this particular part is common to both of them and is getting overlapped. So we will have to subtract it. And how we will do that? We will add first the area of red circle and the area of orange circle. So whatever the number of elements will be there, they will get added, and then we will subtract this particular part because we have counted them twice. They are overlapping, so we have counted them twice, so we will subtract that, and when we will do that, we will get the union of A and B. So this is quite easy. Now we will come to this, how we will get a formula for this particular thing. We have to take the union of all these 3 squares. So let us start with the red one first. So we will focus just upon red and yellow. So there is a common part in between. So first of all, we will have to add the red part, the number of elements in red, then the number of elements in yellow, and we will have to subtract the common part, and that common part is the dark yellow part, and that we will subtract because it is getting overlapped. Similarly, what we will do, we will also add upon the elements of set C, that is blue set, and we will have to subtract the overlap of blue with yellow, the overlap of blue with red, which we can see here. And then what? When we will subtract the common part, then we will see that this particular part, middle part, which is like a triangle, will get subtracted how many times? 3 times. In each of these, that particular triangle will be contained. So we are subtracting that particular part 3 times, and when we will do 3 times, there will be a hollow in between. So that hollow should not be there because we have to take the complete area. That is why we will be adding this triangle part, that is intersection of AB and C we will be adding. Okay, the middle part got subtracted thrice, so we need to add once. Okay, so we are going to see some questions upon this. This is the main question which we are going to focus. So suppose there are 500 students, 49% play football. So if we are getting 49% of 500, we just have to multiply 49 by 5. So we will get 245. So I have converted that particular number. We have multiplied all these numbers or percentage by 5 to get this number. 49%, that is 245 people play football, 53% play hockey, that is 265 people play hockey, and 62% play basketball, that is 310 will play basketball. It has been also given 27% play football, hockey both. It is not given just football, hockey. If just was there, then football, hockey, this particular part would have been 135. But the whole of this, the whole of overlap part is 135 here, and 29% play basketball and hockey. The overlapping 29% will play basketball and hockey, that is 145 here, and 140 will play football and basketball. We got these numbers. 5% plays nothing, so 5 into 5 is 25. 25 students play nothing, so they will be outside the figure. They will be outside the figure. Now we have this figure given. So 245 students play football, 265 students play hockey, and 310 students play basketball. And the common people, 135 play football and hockey, 140 football and basketball, and 145 hockey and basketball. This information is given from the figure, and 25 do not play anything. Now the first question is, how many students like watching or playing all the 3 games? So this is the question, how many of them like playing all the 3 games? That is, we have to find this one. We will apply the same formula. The union of all these 3 sets, the union of all these 3 sets will be what? Number of element in set A plus number of element in set B plus number of element in set C. We'll add them together and we will subtract what? The common area. The common area, the number of elements which we have in common. So that will subtract, and then we will be adding the triangle part. So we got this formula here, and I have written in much better way. In the first line we have taken summation of number of elements in each sets, that is 245, then 310 and 265, which we have done here. That will come out to be 820. Now in the next line I have written the common area which we have to subtract, which are getting counted twice, like number of element into, like number of element between A and B, intersection of A and B, minus number of element in intersection of B and C, and minus number of element in intersection of C and A. So that we have done. Here we have been given those numbers, minus 135, minus 140 and minus 145. And then what? Then we will have to add the common part, because we have subtracted that thrice. So once we will be adding that part. So we have to add intersection of A, B and C, which is we have written X. That is the thing we have to find out. This will come out to be 820 minus 420. This will come out to be 40. So we can write that 475 is equal to 400 plus X, and the X will have the value of 75. And we were given the value that 500 students are there. 25 of them play nothing, so we will subtract 25 first. We will get 475. So 475 will be the union of these sets, and we have it given the number of element in each set. We will take a summation, then subtract to it the value of the common part and add to it the value of the middle part, and the value of the middle part will come out to be x is equal to 75. Just remember this particular formula. If you know this, you can solve all this. Now come to second question. So suppose football and hockey is there. So number of students who play just football, only word is there. So when we have only, we will not count this particular part. We will reduce this particular part. Here also, from pink we will reduce the green part and the yellow part. Okay. So we have taken for football 2, 4, 5. That is the total number has been taken. And from there we are subtracting 135 and 140. We are subtracting 135 and 140. While we are doing that, we are subtracting 75 twice. So there will be a hollow. So that hollow should be removed by adding 75. That will come to be 45. So this was quite easy. 245 minus 135 minus 140 plus 75. Why we are adding plus 75? Because that common part is getting subtracted twice. Once with 135, once with 140. That is why we will have to add 75, and that will come out to be 45. That is, only football players or players who play only football or watch only football are 45. Similarly, we can do with hockey. This is 265. We will subtract 265 minus 145 minus 135, and then we will add 75 because we are subtracting it twice. Okay, so this will come out to be 60. So we have 45 and 60. We will take the ratio 45 by 60 will become 3 by 4. Now find the number of students who like watching only one of the three given games. We already know who like only football, only hockey. We have to find only basketball. That will come out to be 310 minus 145 minus 140 plus 75 is equal to 100. So we got only basketball as 100. 310 minus 145 minus 140 plus 75, because we have subtracted it twice. That will come out to be 100. So we have all these number. 160 plus 45 is 205. The third question says, find the number of students who like watching at least 2 of the given games. That we can solve in two methods. First we will follow the normal method, at least 2. So we will add upon all these 3. Okay, 145 plus 140 plus 135. So while doing that, we have added 75 thrice. So we will have to subtract it twice. Okay, we will have to count them only once. We studied that. We will take this only once. So we will have to subtract it twice because we have counted that area thrice. And then the value will be 270. The other part can be, find the number of students who like watching at least 2 of the given game. At least 2. That will count how much? All these people and all these people who like just 2 games and all the 3 games. So this is one way of doing that. Now come to this figure again. This figure should be very clear in your brain. See, if you will remember this particular form, that is union of A, B and C will be element in A, element in B, element in C, minus element overlapping with A and B, then intersection of B and C and A, plus addition of intersection of A, B and C, then you will get the answer. This formula you have to remember, then you can solve. Now those of you who have enrolled to my courses, I have shared some questions on this particular concept with you, so try to solve that. I have also given some examples and tell me the answer in the group. So this was all for today. Thank you. Thanks for watching.